These are our favorite 2024 Toyotas at Kentville Toyota.
Hi, I'm Randy at Kentville Toyota, and today we're going to talk about this workhorse, the 2024 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid LE all-wheel drive. So here at the front of the vehicle, we do have projector headlights, great visibility with this version of this vehicle, great upgrade. I have the previous version of this. My headlights are good. These are full generation better, and as your eyes get older, that is more important to you. This current model does not have fog lights. They can be added as an accessory, but the base trim does not come with a fog light package. Pretty standard grille. Good ventilation. This with the black and white combination, I kind of like. The white is probably one of my favorite colors in this vehicle, simply because it's easy to keep clean unless your neighbors have blue grapes and the birds are around eating them and they fly over your car. But otherwise, pretty standard feature. Let's start here on the driver's side of the vehicle. Standard alloy wheel package on the LE all-wheel drive. That is a 17-inch wheel and tire package. With the white is kind of just a kind of a smoky silver. I do like it with that combination of color. This is the standard size that all the RAV4 and RAV4 hybrids will take if you do go to a smaller winter tire and wheel package, and that is available as an accessory to go with any of these vehicles. As is standard from 2019 forward, you do have the turn indicator on the mirrors on both the driver and passenger side, and the blind spot monitoring indicator is on the mirrors. Come back here a little further, you have your conventional key. So this trim actually will still open with a key. It does come with keyless entry. So like with every Toyota, one click on the open opens the driver's door, 2 clicks opens the entire vehicle. One of the weird differences between the hybrid and the gas is the hybrid says all-wheel drive on the side and the gas doesn't. Why? I have no idea, but that's one of the things I observe on all these vehicles. Again, because it is a hybrid, it is a locked fuel door, because all of the fuel systems on our hybrid vehicles are pressurized systems and the doors are automatically locked. So that is meant to be a safety feature. So standard for 2024, all of the RAV4 hybrids do come with the knockouts on the roof rails. So this vehicle is designed to accept a crossbar system for sport accessories, bike racks, ski racks, all those things. You just need a set of crossbars and the punch outs are there in place. I've installed a couple of these for friends. Really easy to install. All you need is a little step ladder and away you go. Let's have a look at the rear of this vehicle. So again, LE all-wheel drive, entry trim level. So a lot of manual features, everything works great. You just have to use a little muscle power. So the release for the hatch is right there by the insignia. So hydraulic assist, but again, you have to manually unlock it and you manually close it as well. So nothing magical there, everybody's used to that. So really great cargo space here. Good open space, really easy access. Flip the switches, you got a 60/40 rear split. So this particular trim does not come with the privacy cover. Upper trims do come with it factory. It is available, but it doesn't come as a standard feature. So some pretty good functionality here. There is a 12-volt accessory port here that if you want to plug in an electric cooler or something like that, or a charge for another device you're storing back here, it will work. That I believe is only powered when the ignition switch is on in the vehicle. Under the floor here, not a full-size spare, but there is a spare. Comes with the RAV4 hybrid, so there it is, stored in there. The carpeted mats come stored in there as well. Your jack, everything else is where it should be and where you'd expect. So good usable space, and 4 tie-down points available here as well. For tethering anything down, you want to tie anything down or put a net in there for groceries, cargo, all available. So on the rear of this vehicle, it does have 3 attachment points for child seats. So great for a family. Good configuration, so you can do 2 on one side, 1 on the other, whatever works for you. And interestingly enough, Toyota has added this neat little safety feature right here, hopefully you can see it, that if your rear seats are not properly mounted and latched, you see this little red indicator here to say, hey, you're not quite safe yet. So unless you hear the clunk and see the little red indicator go away, you know that these seats are not latched. So that's just a neat little feature that's back there. So again, great cargo space, good open area. Again, this is kind of the workhorse of our sales. Our sales team love this car. We just need to get more of them. This is making up more than 50% of sales, is this trim level of the RAV4 hybrid. Great value for money and incredible reliability. So let's go have a look at the front of the vehicle and go to the inside. So here we are at the driver's side of the vehicle. Driver's door, pretty standard configuration. Your mirror controls are here. Window switches, as you would expect on any vehicle. Standard lockout features, so the driver can control what goes on with the passenger and rear passengers' windows. You can lock them in, lock them out. So I hop in here and have a seat, see what I see. Pretty standard configuration. Dimmer switch for the dash lights are there. Audio controls in the steering wheel, just like any of the newer Toyotas. You do have a heated cowling. I was not a long-term Toyota driver until I came to the company, and I would always see this switch on the old Toyotas, and it looks like a windshield wiper with a wire going through it. I always wondered what it was, and it is a heated cowling. So most of the Toyotas, and they've been doing this for a long time, have a heated section on the bottom edge of the windshield. And us living in Atlantic Canada, where we get a lot of slush and a lot of freezing and thawing, you'll be going down the highway and your wipers freeze up. If you press that button while you're driving, when your wipers park down, they're parked in a heated zone and they will not ice up, and you don't get that awful streaking that you get as you're on the highway. So that's a really nice feature that I like, even on our base cars. So standard functionality, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto built in as standard features. This current model year, 2020, I believe 2023 and newer, it's wireless. Prior to that, you had to plug it in to get it to work, so it is currently wireless in this generation. Heated seats are a standard feature in this vehicle. They work really well, nice and hot, nicely up the bottom of your back. All of the new RAV4s come with a standard electronic parking brake, so no more pull up here or down on the floor that a lot of us are used to. So it comes on automatically. It makes a really funny noise. It's supposed to do that. And because it is being turned on and off every time you put the vehicle in and out of gear, they tend to last really well, low maintenance, because they're constantly being used, which is perfect, because the curse of the older parking brakes was if you didn't use them, they seized up and they became a repair bill from basically negligence in our environment. So what else do I see here? I see on the shift control, there are 3 settings on the transmission, and literally they are computer programs. There's Eco and there's Sport, and there's normal. It defaults to normal every time you turn it on, and then you can toggle to Eco. Generally, what the difference is between those 3 settings is if you just get in the vehicle and drive on normal setting, you will get 95% of what this vehicle is capable of as fuel economy. You'll get awesome fuel economy. I do mostly town driving with mine, and it's no problem for me to stay under 5 liters per 100. If you do drive in standard setting, you will get excellent fuel economy. If you go to Eco mode, it is the equivalent of driving like a 54-year-old man, like I would. You drive a little slower, you're a little slower on the takeoff, you take a little longer to get up to speed. The opposite of that is Sport mode, a little more pickup, a little more responsive. The difference between the two is, on average, customers tell us if you toggle between Eco and Sport, you're going to use about 5% more fuel in Sport mode than you do in normal, and you may use 5% less in Eco mode. So for those of you who are really looking for either performance is not going to cost you a whole bunch of money, and if you're looking for fuel economy, you can squeeze it a little harder and get a little better fuel economy out of it, but the default settings on this vehicle will give you great responsiveness, great performance, and really respectable fuel economy for a full-size SUV. So overall, as I said, this is our best-selling RAV4. It makes up the biggest portion of our sales just because it's really good bang for your buck, really good value in this package. 2 full-size cup holders here. We have a good-sized storage bin here, 2 USB-C powered charge ports, and there's a conventional USB interface down here for anyone who's using older technology, using conventional USB either for power or to interface with the audio unit to play music off a different older generation device. And way down in there, there's also an old school 12-volt power outlet that most people would consider a cigarette lighter, but we're not allowed to say that anymore. So yeah, so that's the seating position. I'm going to adjust this to where I'm comfortable, and then I'm going to go have a seat in the back and see what the legroom's like as a passenger. So here we are in the rear of the 24 RAV4 Hybrid, again LE package. So cloth seating. I've got to say, this is my first time as a passenger back here. This is incredibly comfortable. The angle to the back of the seat is really good for me. I've got some back issues, and this is super comfortable. I've got lots of headroom. Again, I have a long torso, and traditionally I sit a little higher in the vehicle than people at my height normally. I have a ton of headroom. That's a really nice feature. It comes standard with these two-piece mats that hook over here on the hump, and the hump is very small because on the RAV Hybrid there is no conventional physical drive shaft. It's a drive-by-wire system. There are two rear electric motors under me on the axle that put the power to the rear wheels, and I'm actually sitting directly above the high voltage battery pack of this vehicle. So there's one difference between this vehicle and the gas-powered vehicle is right here. There is venting, is that I am sitting on the battery pack, and that battery, because it's charging and discharging constantly, generates heat, and it diffuses heat by literally drawing air through that to cool these batteries. So every now and again there is a difference on this vehicle versus the non-hybrids, is that they do recommend that we disassemble that for you. We clean the filters just so you get proper airflow to get good longevity out of those batteries. And again, on this version, moving from 2022 I believe forward, the hybrid batteries in this vehicle are guaranteed by Toyota for 10 years and 200, I believe it's 240,000 kilometers, but if I'm wrong, somebody will change it. They'll make comments in the comments and say, hey, you need to know your product better, and they're right, I do, so my apologies. So really comfortable here. I'm really pleasantly surprised. Again, good height on the armrest. It's a little higher than it is in the Camry, which I like, and a couple of good cup holders. I see that there is a storage area on the back of the passenger side, but not on the driver's. Not a big deal. Nobody's carrying magazines or maps anymore anyway, so I don't know what they're for. Maybe can slide a sandwich in there, who knows. Okay, let's have a look at the rest of the vehicle and see if I can find anything else interesting to talk about. Let's pop the hood and see what we can find under here that may or may not have any value to you as a consumer shopping for a RAV4 hybrid. So this is always the fun part, where I get to see how embarrassed I can make myself trying to open the hood of every vehicle. Okay, so there it is. Okay, very good. Okay, so that went okay. Obviously, as you can see as I open this, the prop rod is well marked on this one. This is a bit of a gooey mess, as it should be. Living in Atlantic, Canada as we do, the customer who's taking delivery of this vehicle has chosen to have it undercoated, which is always a great idea. Toyota builds excellent vehicles that if you lived in Arizona, they'll last forever. We're not in Arizona. So we always recommend rust protection on our vehicles. For the average consumer, once you get under here, what you need to know is that is a 2.5 liter Toyota hybrid drive system, 2.5 liter gas engine paired with the hybrid drive. This is fourth generation. The combined fuel economy of this 2.5 liter hybrid drive is 6 liters per 100. So for this vehicle is outstanding when you consider that it is a full-size SUV, it is all-wheel drive, you know, and you can put 5 adults in here very comfortably. So again, back to the average consumer, washer fluid, coolant, dipstick that you may or may not ever touch. Again, majority of us consumers really don't have any business being under here except to know here's where it is and here's where the technicians will work when they do change your oil and service your vehicle. Again, with regular service, we're seeing these vehicles with ridiculously high kilometers on them. Great resale value, really comfortable. Yeah, as I say, this has been the best selling RAV4 at this dealership now for a couple of years, and it really comes down to if we could get more, we could sell more. It's just the consumers love them, and yeah, that's a good problem to have for us. I'm Randy at Kentville Toyota. Leave some notes in the comments, make fun of things and mistakes that I've made. You should, because this is not what I do for a living. I'm just blathering on. So like and subscribe. Thanks again for watching. Hi, I'm Randy at Kentville Toyota, and this is the 2024 Toyota Land Cruiser, first edition. So let's have a look at it. So on the front of this specific trim level of the vehicle as the first edition, you'll notice that we have the round headlights. Most of the other trims have a more conventional square headlight. This one is more reminiscent of the headlights that would have been on the first edition back X number of years ago when Toyota first introduced the Land Cruiser to the market. The technology in this vehicle, again, very similar to most of the Toyotas, is that it does have the front-facing sonar for safety, for proximity, for parking, those kinds of things. You don't get the traditional hybrid Signia that we're used to on a lot of our hybrid vehicles, but this is a hybrid drivetrain. This is the one of the first iterations of the new iForce Max that we've gotten on our vehicles. Our first vehicle that came in with this drivetrain was the 2024 Toyota Tacoma. This is the 24 Land Cruiser, arrived here a couple of weeks later. But again, it's the iForce Max drivetrain, which is different than our conventional hybrids, is that yes, it still gives you great fuel economy when you consider this as a fully equipped, very, very durable truck that we can go off-road with. Incredibly off-road worthy, but again, still hybrid, great fuel economy for what it'll do, but this is not a Prius, and don't expect Prius fuel economy. So let's go have a look at the side. So here we are on the side of the vehicle, and just for all of you, this is my first go through this vehicle. It's been here for a couple of days. I've not sat in it. I've really paid no attention to it. So initially, the eye is, this is a beautiful car. I love the two-tone. I'm a really big fan of this particular blue with the gray roof. Looks great. The OEM roof rack comes standard feature on the vehicle. Again, looks really good with the rugged vehicle. The matte black wheels, the Michelins, I couldn't ask for better. These ones I believe are called rock rails, so these are not running boards. If you're going to pay this kind of money for this and you want to go off-roading, you want to go climb rocks with it, good for you. I'm not doing that, but if you do, that'll protect your sills from getting ripped off on the rocks. Everybody can do with their vehicle what they want as long as it's legal, and once they've paid for it, I don't care what you do with it. So on this side, again, typical Toyota fashion, keyless entry on this one. Does come with the intelligent key. Touch the door handle, it'll unlock. You can swipe to lock, relock. The Toyota mirrors, very conventional. Again, taking this one through the trees, you can do that. It's got collapsing mirrors that you won't rip off, because I expect these are more than $30 to fix. It does give you a heated mirror, and also gives you your blind spot monitoring. Warning is in that mirror as well, and lets you know what's in your blind spots. Because of the size of this truck, you do have some blind spots in it, as you're going to with any really large SUV like this. So that is built into the mirror. You do have a turn signal visible out here, which I like, for both on the highway, parking lots, anything. People are going to see what your intentions are for turning. That's a nice feature. Gas door obviously locks from the inside, because I can't just pop it open. I'm going to guess that the release for this is on the floor, as it is in most Toyotas, and I'm wrong. It's actually somewhere where I can't find it. Now that the gas door is actually open from the little button on the dash beside the steering wheel, this one's been undercoated, so it's a gooey mess. That's a good thing if you're going to keep this thing for 30 years like most of you are. So yeah, locking the gas door, obviously, as there is with most vehicles today. Let's go around to the back of the vehicle, see what that looks like inside, because again, this is my first time through. I have no idea what we're about to see. Come on. So here we are at the back of the vehicle. Nice big tail light. I like that. Obviously, it's got rear facing sonar, again for parking, just so you're not going to back into things. I'm going to assume this lunch box sitting here is to cover up the receiver for the trailer hitch. I haven't seen behind it yet. Lots of comments on that. Probably put your comments in the comments on this video. Tell me what you think of it. I'm hoping there's something useful under that, because it's not the prettiest thing in the world. This, lovingly enough, this reminds me of a 1985 Tercel wagon with the four-wheel drive. So I'm not sure if that's meant to make homage to the old Tercel four-wheel drive wagons, but that's what it reminds me of. I like this. It's got a nice big glass. Let's see how, oh, it opens. So we have a power hatch. I assumed it was a power hatch, but I've never seen it work. So here we are. So this vehicle has quite a high floor. It's my first impression. Again, this is a hybrid, so battery and drivetrain does take up some space, so a little higher floor than I was expecting. There is a storage space right there. Obviously that is got clips that hold it in place, so it comes off easily for some quick storage, for tie downs, grocery bags, whatever you're doing with this. Lots of good usable cargo space. Yeah, what else have we got here? Good lighting. I like the LED lighting. This is nice. Oh, this is a neat feature that Toyota has just come out with for the 2024 moving forward, is that traditionally on these tailgates, again, programmable like it is on all Toyotas with the power liftgate. This one used to be just open and close, but as we evolve, they've added this lovely button. So on most of our older vehicles, you had to lock this, and as you're walking away, you had to wait in a parking lot and do this about 100 times until the door closed so you could actually lock your vehicle. With that button on the newer generations, and thank God it's here, this one you press, closes the rear lift gate, and then it locks the vehicle. So that you can press one button, walk away, and it locks behind you. I think that's a nice feature. So let's see how quickly this closes. Again, that's a nice change. Our previous SUVs, those hatches actually went down much slower than that. So magically there's a button that unlatches the window and away you go. The rear window does open. Good rear window defrost, which I can see. That's a pretty nice feature for pass through, but I'm gonna guess if you're going down the road and you try to have this open, it's gonna warn you that you're doing something very unsafe, as it should. So we'll close that back up. And what else do I see? Well, the new iForce Max, that's the new insignia for Toyota's hybrids. New symbol has changed. The iForce Max, as I said, this is the combination of, this drivetrain is hybrid, but again, it's not as it was in our passenger vehicles. This actually puts the electric drive system onto the driveline. So it's in sequence with the transmission and the gas engine. So when you need torque, you need power, it comes on and gives you that without either A, needing more displacement, or B, needing a diesel engine or anything. Is that you get torque out of this vehicle much like you would with a small diesel engine, without any of the downsides of the diesel with the emissions, you know, $500 oil changes, all that foolishness. So again, still a conventional Toyota drivetrain with the hybrid matched in, gives you good fuel economy considering how much power you can get out of this vehicle. So let's have a look at the other side and see what else we can see on it. Okay, so here we are, driver's door is open. First thing I see is a really nice, big, usable pocket on the door. I like that. I carry a very ridiculously large water bottle that I know would fit there and not cause any damage. I see lumbar support. I see up, down, forward. So we've got an 8-way, at least an 8-way power driver's seat. I see perforation. So obviously this has air conditioned and heated seats again. A whole host of buttons here on the dash. Auto headbeams. How about high beams? Headlights, high beam headlights. Switch here, frontal collision avoidance warning. Fog lights are on. It's got 12-volt AC, which I'm assuming is in the back, and I didn't see back there, but obviously it's back there. Power lift gate button, fuel door button, and it also has a trailer towing feature where you can change the alignment of something. I have no idea what you're going to change, but it has two adjustments there if you're towing a trailer. Somebody, again, who knows more than I do will tell you how that works. I'm not going to because I don't know. So when I get in, what do I see? I love the steering wheel. I like that it's kind of octagonal. It's very, very truck-like. It reminds me of the new Tundra, which I actually have been able to spend a little bit of time in. Multiple settings, obviously, on the transmission and the stability system of this vehicle. Multiple different drive modes here for the driver. There's a button for that. Oh, I see a volume button that is strangely placed, but I like it. Right here where I would naturally see it in a vehicle that is not new. Probably this is kind of a flashback to the vehicle when it originally came out, when you would have had a dial for something. I see JBL speakers, which I like. That'll sound good. Sunroof's open to give us a little light so you can actually see me do this. Nice big screen. Let's see, wireless charging like you see in most of our newer vehicles now. Good storage there. Yeah, so let's close the door and see what happens when I hit the power button. Okay, so somebody short was here. So it's warning me that I haven't actually started the vehicle and all the doors are open. So as I have seen on many of the newer Toyotas, we have a programmable switch on the door for two different drivers. Again, set the steering wheel and the seat configuration for you is programmable. I see 3 USB ports. One apparently looks like a data link. The other 2 are for charging. You can change the view of the camera. I can see that. It does have an electric power brake that most people are not used to on Land Cruisers, because the first ones probably had a great big cable here that you would have pulled up on that's gone. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Thank goodness there were people here to yell that to me because I had just drawn a blank. So Android Auto is wireless, as it is in most of the new Toyotas now. I see a heated steering wheel. I see radar cruise control. All the systems here very familiar with us with the newer Toyotas. Yeah, I guess maybe that let's get the seat really where I want it, and then let's go to the back and see how I fit back there, again behind someone who's roughly 5'10", to see how comfortable it is for the passengers behind. Okay, so here we are. I'm coming in from the passenger side in the rear. First thing I see is that there's a what are these called? Rock rail. I can see a rock rail that I can use as a running board. I can step on it if I want to. I don't really need to. It is round, it's a little slippery. Again, this is the first edition, so it comes with a rock rail. The other trims I know do not come with a rock rail. They come with a more conventional running board. I see a JBL speaker, which is good for the rear passenger. So let's hop in here and see what I see. So, oh, this is nice. Okay, first impressions are I could sleep here. Again, I shouldn't because I'm at work, but again, you could sleep here quite nicely. Armrest. Again, 2 good-sized cup holders with little tension springy things in them to keep your cup centered so it doesn't spill. Seating surface is nice. Again, I can tell by looking at this that this is a perforated seat cushion again, so it's got heated and cooled seats in here for your rear passengers. I've got tons of room for leg room. Again, 5'10" driver, 5'10" behind. Again, I don't have the longest legs, I have a long torso. So again, I've got lots of headroom here and lots of leg room. So you could be a couple inches taller in any dimension here and still be quite comfortable. I see climate control features here where I can control the temperature, fan speeds, all those good things. I've got 2 USB-C charging ports, as well as a secondary aux port that you could plug in an adapter for another cooler or something that you may have in the back. Seat pocket, rear seat pockets for maps or, I don't know, flat sandwiches. I have no idea what we're going to put in there, but something. Sunroof stops. I'm a little surprised by this, but again, with this massive rack that is on the top of the vehicle, it would make no sense for me to look up through a glass roof and see the bottom of a suitcase or my skis or snowboard or spare tire, whatever you want to put up there. So yeah, pretty impressed with the space back here. The headroom is nice. I like the LED lighting. It actually complements the color of the leather. It's quite nice. No complaints back here. Again, nice big cup holder, big pocket on the door. That's quite user friendly for your rear passengers. And yeah, so overall, oh, this is interesting. There is actually a vent here in the top of the vehicle for more air circulation. So you don't just get it at your feet, you also get it up here nice and high, that's a nice feature. I like that. That way you're not just trying to cool your backside, you can cool your top side too. Okay. So I guess that's it for the interior opinion. So let's go have a look under the hood and I'll pretend to know what's under there too. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to figure out how to open the hood on this vehicle as I have on some others. Again, my first time through, so it may take me an hour or so. Just give me a second. Oh, clearly marked, which is nice. That makes it easier for me. So quick release. And oh, look at that. Found it first try. Oh, no, I didn't. I found it second try. So, okay. Prop rod. I was not expecting that. I thought there would be hydraulic pistons here to open this. Obviously, I was mistaken. First impression from the front, now that the lights are on, I love the yellow fog lights. That's a nice touch. Again, I don't know anything about what's going on in here. I'm not going to pretend to. I know this is a 4-cylinder. I think it's a 2.5 liter turbocharged engine. The hybrid drive system is there. I can see the high voltage cables. I can see where to check my oil. That's pretty well easily marked out for anyone. I know where the washer fluid goes because it's visually indicated. No problem there. Expansion tank. I know this vehicle's been undercoated. We live in Atlantic, Canada. Everything rusts, even Toyotas, given enough time. So this one's been undercoated. We always recommend that. It doesn't have to be ours, but it should be done. I don't care if you smear honey on your vehicle, you got to do something in our climate. So yeah, the only surprise is the prop rod. Again, this is our new hybrid drivetrain. So again, this, if I press start, it is not going to sit here and hum like a Prius. The gas engine is going to start no matter what. There are conditions with this drivetrain where you can be going down the road and the gas engine will not be running, but it's extremely rare. You're asking for heat, AC, you know, the voltage is low. It is not going to run like a conventional hybrid. Again, this is going to give you awesome fuel economy compared to our competitors that are not running hybrids and putting out this kind of torque and horsepower. So I think that's a good blend. And again, with Toyota's hybrid drivetrain, with our history, this should not be a mystery to anyone. Lexus has been using these turbocharged drivetrains before we ever got them. So tried and true, not really scared of this, even though it's a new production. I do love the look of this vehicle. I'm just gonna close the hood and have another look here. First impressions. So this legitimately is my first time across this vehicle because it's the first one we've ever had. My first impression is I love the look of this car. I'm really impressed. I can't fault it. The seats were really comfortable. The dash is nice and clean. It's well laid out. Again, I am driving an 8-year-old Toyota as my daily driver. It is a generation behind this, but as soon as I got in, it felt like home. It feels like a Toyota. I haven't been able to drive this on the road, but I did get a chance to drive one of these hybrid drivetrains in a Tacoma. Very happy with it, lots of power. Again, I'll have further opinion when we have one of these I can actually drive, because this is owned by a customer already, so we're not gonna put miles on somebody else's car. So first impression, again, really like it. I love the look of the tires and wheels. I love the look of the vehicle. Like most Toyota owners, I'm price conscious. This is an extreme price, but when I compare what this vehicle is capable of compared to our main competitors in the market, which are domestic predominantly, bang for your buck, even this being the top trim and the top price, I'll guarantee you this will be worth more when it's 3 years old than our competitors who have a similar off-road vehicle with big tires and big wheels. The drivability is definitely there. The name brand, between this on the front, which reminds me of an FJ Cruiser, strangely enough, which we can't get anymore. But I think the durability is going to be here and the resale value is going to be here, and it should be a hoot to drive. So again, I'm Randy from Kentville Toyota. Thanks for your time. Oh yeah, and subscribe. Hi, I'm Randy at Kentville Toyota. This is the 2024 Toyota Tundra. So let's have a look at this. From the front of this Tundra, first impressions, I see a camera here, obviously for frontal collision avoidance. I see sonar in the bumper and out here on the extension, so obviously for frontal collision avoidance for things like parking lots. This vehicle is non-hybrid, so we don't get the blue insignia you see on some of them. So the insignia of this vehicle still, like most Toyotas in this generation, has the radar sensor is in this for frontal collision avoidance for your radar cruise control. Yeah, so front of the vehicle, good looking nose, very truck-like, I guess is how I would describe it. I'm not a product advisor here, so my opinions of these vehicles are very knee-jerk reactions. I don't particularly know a lot of the product knowledge, but I've been around them enough to have opinions about them at least, so that's what you're getting today. So let's go around and have a look at the driver's side of the vehicle and see what we see. Here we are at the front of this 2024 Tundra. This is the limited package. There are 2 packages available on these vehicles. There have been since the new relaunch of this vehicle for 2022. So this one is a limited. My understanding of what that does for you is it gives you more horsepower under the hood. Same displacement. This is a 3.5 liter V6 twin turbo engine that all of our Tundras are now, even with the hybrid drivetrain. Again, this is not a hybrid, but you still get that same engine block with the 3.5 liter twin turbo. So the limited trim gives you a little more horsepower than the SR trim. Also gives you different features. So this is the Crew Max model, so it gives you lots of passenger space. Nice big doors to open for passengers in and out. As far as drivability goes, I haven't been able to ride in a few of these. The ride quality is unbelievable. This is more like a piece of furniture when you're on the road than it is a truck. Very capable. You can take it to work, or you can take it on a day trip on vacation. It's just really comfortable to be in. So things that I see, same as I do on most of the Toyotas. The indicator here on the mirror for turn signal, and as well as heated mirror, as well as your blind spot monitoring light is here, the same as you see on most of these vehicles. Again, with the larger pillars on these vehicles, you do get more blind spots, and the safety technology to offset that is pretty obvious on all the Toyotas. Right down to the entry-level trim in the SR double cab, so our least expensive Tundra still has most of the same safety features that you get on the limited trim. So what else? This one has running boards. That is a Toyota OEM running board that we have installed for the customer. Comes with a lovely shiny black combination wheel with the gloss and the black. We've got a Michelin on there. good off-road balance tire. It's an LTX trail, great tire. Yeah, I have a my old Tacoma that is 20 some years old is running Michelin LTXs. They can take an old truck and make it drive like a new truck. It's a nice tire. So that's the outside. Non-locking gas door on the Tundra. As like most of our passenger vehicles do have a locking gas door. You get plastic wheel arches on this. Gives you a little more durability. So if you're actually using this for work or if you're off-road anywhere, you're not going to beat the paint all up. And same as our previous generation Tundra, a lot of people don't see this. There actually is a plastic film that is applied to all of our trucks down here that gives you good durability. And strangely enough, the technology in that plastic is really cool. If you damage that with rock chips or anything like that, it will naturally, again, as long as the temperatures won't happen when it's minus 30 outside, but over time it'll naturally heal up a little bit and it'll seal up behind itself to keep your paint covered, to keep rust at bay on that vehicle. So this particular package, TRD Off-Road, gives you different suspension than the other trims do. Every truck that comes from the factory, the TRD Off-Road, the TRD Sport, again, every trim gets different suspension. I'm not the one to tell you what the difference is. That's what Toyota.ca is for, or my sales staff here. I'm here to show you what I think of the truck. I really don't know as much as I probably should, but I'm doing it anyway. So let's have a look at the interior of the truck and go from there. So here we are on the driver's side. I see a running board. That's nice, easy to get in and out. The sill plate appears to be plastic, which is good, should give you good durability. There is a skid plate here to keep you from scuffing your boots if you're using it for a work truck. We see a lot of work trucks coming in without sill plates on them, all scuffed up. They start to rust in our climate. Sill plates are a nice feature. Really big door pocket here, I like that. There's lots of room for all your stuff. In a previous life, I actually worked for a living and had splinters in my hands, and these door pockets would have been full of things that I'd forgotten and receipts that I had not submitted somewhere. So anyway, nice place to collect stuff if you're not any better at doing your filing than I am. So let's see how the seat feels. We'll get in here. Huge passenger compartment. We'll adjust the seat back to where I want to be. So on this trim, what do I see here? I see 4 high, 4 low. So we got a shifter here. We've got different drive modes for towing. We've got crawl control on this vehicle. Crawl control is a really neat thing. Luckily, Toyota does do some pretty good training with the features of these vehicles. I've actually been on some of our Toyota truck training, which I really enjoyed, and we got to use crawl control in some off-road conditions. It essentially puts your truck in a ridiculous mode where it starts looking around for terrain, it checks angles, checks clearance, and it basically will drive the vehicle at extremely low speeds over really rough terrain without beating the teeth out of your head or giving a really rough ride. It's amazing what this truck is capable of doing with the technology that comes with crawl control, which again comes as a standard feature on the TRD Off-Road. Again, that's essentially most of my knowledge on the trucks is that I like crawl control because I got to play with it. I see the trailer adjustment here for trailer towing on the dash. I see rear cargo light that I can turn on. This vehicle has auto start stop. So a lot of the new Toyota vehicles for fuel consumption issues, obviously, is to give better fuel economy, that if you're sitting somewhere in traffic and your 12-volt battery's happy, everything's good, and the auto start stop is working, the gas engine will shut off while you're at idle, simply because idling uses way more fuel than going down the road does proportionately. So they're just trying to be a little more friendly to the environment with the truck. This particular vehicle obviously has, as a TRD Off-Road, has the IQ charge pad there. I think that's a nice feature because most of us are carrying smartphones. Let's see, I can turn on my rear view camera. I've got heated and cooled seats again. I can tell from the perforation here and the fans and the controls. This vehicle, again, push button start, but it does have heated and cooled seats for the front passengers. My mirror controls are obvious. This one, like a lot of the Toyotas that we have in the upper trims, programmable seats for the driver. So again, the seating position with your steering wheel as well as the seat, all fully automated. Once you program it, you get back in, press 1 as your number 1 driver or number 2, and away you go. Giant screen here. I love this. That's a great layout. It's good visibility. This truck, as well as all the vehicles now, or all the trucks for 2024, have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay wireless built in. So you can have your phone sitting here charging. It'll look after itself. You can mirror the maps off your phone, or you can you can use the built-in navigation system that comes with Toyota with the connected services that do this, that come with this vehicle. It has the SOS button on the roof as a safety feature. So most of the new Toyotas with the connected services and with Toyota Safety Sense current version, once we have paired you and your vehicle together, you get the advantage of, if you're in an accident, this vehicle will call out if you're unable to and call for emergency help, or if you are in need of help and other things are not working, hit the SOS button, it'll call for help for you. So there's a really nice safety feature that's available on most of the 2024 and future versions of these vehicles. So this one, wireless key, neat feature with our wireless keys, because these do die, they will die eventually. You can open this up, you can still get in the vehicle, and with any Toyota that has keyless entry, if the battery in this is dead, you can hold it up against the key. Vehicle will recognize the RFID tag in here. You can still start the truck even though this is dead. If you lose this, then you're in trouble. Okay, so I have the driver's seat set for my comfort zone. So let's see what the back looks like from the passenger compartment. Okay, so here I am, driver's side, the rear. Again, really nice big pocket on the door for passengers, water bottles, all kinds of stuff. You have the storage pocket there, that's a nice feature. What else do I see here? I see a pull cord here, I don't know what this is for. I'm assuming this will pop forward. Maybe it won't. Okay, so I have no idea what this pulley thing does. Oh, someone's pointing that it should do something for me. Oh, look at that! Amazing storage under the seats. And if you know what you're doing, you would have found that with those standing there pulling on it for 3 minutes. Anyway, so there are the mount points that come with all of the Tundras. These go in the rail system at the top of the box. This is for tying down your four-wheeler, your chainsaw, putting a tarp over, whatever you need. Wheel locks, because these wheels are expensive and you don't want people to steal them. What else have we got here? Oh, we've got a front plate bracket that comes with the vehicle. Okay, that's nice. That's a really nice feature. That's a lot of storage space. Lovely. So let's see how it feels. Okay, so seating positions, wicked. This thing has more room than any of the SUVs I've been in quite some time. The customers who have their Tundras and love them say that these are the most comfortable vehicles you can for long drive, or you can own for going on a long drive. And as a passenger here, great lighting with the roof open. Natural light in here is really nice. Obviously we've got privacy glass because it's tinted here on the rear. What else do I see? I see a 120 volt charge point, so you can plug in your laptop, a cooler, anything that's pretty good load, 100 and 400 watts. So lots of 110 volt electricity available there. Obviously you have a USB, a conventional USB charge port, as well as a USB-C charge port there. But again, both of those will charge your device. We've got incidental storage vents here for heating and cooling for the rear passengers. Nice features. The cup holders there, that's a nice feature. I like that. And once again, two large cup holders here for your two passengers, or if you get the third passenger, obviously you're gonna have to put the cups in their lap because they're not gonna fit there. And yeah, overall, I'm pretty impressed. The LED lighting's nice, very comfortable. Excellent. Let's see what else we can find in the rear of the truck. So here we are at the back of the truck. So I know this does, oh, there we go. I've wanted to do that for a long time. So interesting feature on this specific model, the release, I believe this is on all of the limited trims, that there is a tailgate release right there. Obviously it's soft open, which is really nice. So that is a composite, which is nice. It will not dent. I mean, obviously you can still break it if you put anything too hard or too heavy or too fast on it. So I see a composite bed. I see nice lighting, LED lighting in there. I see all kinds of latch points where you can put on. This is a Toyota OEM tonneau cover that obviously that's a trifold that we can put up and actually latch up next to the cab of the truck. So if you're using it closed, great, it's sealed, it's dry, and if you want to put it up and give you more usable cargo space, obviously that ties up next to the cab. So let's see, oh, that's surprising. Now, my dad has a 2018 1794, and it's a lovely truck, but his tailgate, I'm gonna guess, is 3 times harder to close than this one is. This is a really soft open and close. So drop it, it's got a hydraulic close, but it also has an assisted open, so that's a really nice feature. Really easy to close, that's pretty impressive. We got nice large backup lights, we got backup sonar. Obviously this is a truck, so it comes with the hitch receiver ready to go. All you need to do is put the stub in that goes with your appropriate trailer, whatever you're using. And again, nice LED light here on the tailgate, and there is the backup camera for this vehicle that you'll see up front, obviously. So I also see, what do we got here? So there's your conventional, how many point? 2, 4, 6. So that's a 6 point, and that is a conventional 4. So no matter what wiring harness you have on your trailer, you have both ends here available to use right out of the factory. So that's a nice feature. Tail lights are nice and big. Obviously, this looks like the same button as it is on the other side, but it does nothing. So obviously you can only open the tailgate from the driver's side. There you go. Okay, very good. So that's what I see from here. Obviously the gas door is on the driver's side of the vehicle, which is pretty common with most of our Toyota trucks. Okay, so let's attempt to open the hood on this one and see what we can find. Okay, true Toyota fashion, has a physical release there on the driver's side. Let's see if I can find this without embarrassing myself too much. Oh, there you go, that worked. So, so this is what I expected. That has a hydraulic open on this trim level, which is nice. Some of our other vehicles don't have it, and I was a little surprised by that, so that's a nice feature. What do I see here? I see a twin turbo V6. Actually, I don't know what I'm looking at. I know it's a twin turbo V6 because other people have told me and I've read all the stats. All I see is plastic, and a battery. So the things that I can easily identify, there's the horn. It's surprisingly small for a truck this size. There is the reservoir for your washer fluid. There's the expansion tank for coolant. There's the dipstick for checking the motor oil there. Aside from that, again, I don't have any skills to tell you anything about this aside from I know it's a twin turbo V6. Noticeably better fuel economy than the previous version of this truck. Other truck, awesome reputation for reliability and durability. We're working on that same reputation here with this vehicle. The power out of this truck is fantastic with noticeably less displacement. Fuel economy is noticeably better with the previous generation as well, and it's quieter on the road. So far so good with this drivetrain. Yeah, I don't see anything else particular that draws my eye because again, once I look past that, I really don't know what goes under the hood of this thing aside from we bring it to the local Toyota store, we service it, and away we go. So overall, pretty impressed with the truck. I don't spend a lot of time with these. So I'm Randy at Kentville Toyota. Subscribe. Hi again, I'm Randy from Kentville Toyota, and this is the 2024 Toyota RAV4 Prime. So let's get into it. So on the front of this vehicle, because this is the 2024 Prius Prime, this is the Tech Pack. This is the top trim available for this vehicle. So on the front side of the vehicle, you're going to see all kinds of neat things that you may or may not know what they are. So for starters, we've got sensors all over the front of this vehicle. So the sensors that you see in the bumper and the grille, those are all frontal sonar, basically for frontal collision avoidance at low speeds, in traffic, parking lots, those kinds of things. Really nice for keeping you and your lovely new Toyota away from objects that will devalue your car quickly. Once again, there is a camera on this one because it is a Tech Pack. So when you put this vehicle in reverse, it gives you a full bird's eye view camera view. It's like you're on top of the vehicle looking down. So if the neighbor's cat is under there, you're gonna see it. Your grandchildren's bicycle is sticking out from under it. You're gonna see all those things when you put the car in reverse, so you do not run over anything you don't wanna run over. The blue Signia, obviously, or Insignia, I guess it should be called, not Signia, because that's a totally different thing, is to indicate that this vehicle is a Toyota hybrid. This has been the way they've identified their hybrids now since day one. We are transitioning away from that just because they're rebranding some of these vehicles, because so many vehicles are electrified now. The emblem on this Toyota, like most of our newer vehicles, this is where the radar cruise sensor is. So forward facing, it lets you know how far away from the vehicle in front of you when your cruise is on, keeps you at a safe distance. One interesting fact is that in our climate and most of Canada, if this ever gets covered in snow, this vehicle will give you a big warning and say, hey, I'm not working anymore, because it can't see through the debris that would be on there. So front of the vehicle, low cowling on this one, quite an aggressive stance. Most of the newer Toyotas with this nose on look really aggressive, a little more masculine look than we had in the last version. Anyway, so this is the plug-in hybrid. This is currently the hardest vehicle there is to get from Toyota. The wait lists are long because the demand for this vehicle is so high. It's been a great seller for us. The lists are long, the lineups are long. They're always getting better, so don't be scared to call us and ask if we can get you one, because we'll do our best to get you one as fast as we can. So let's move from the front of the vehicle over to the side, and we'll show you some of the features down the side of the vehicle as well. So on this particular vehicle, it does come with a 19-inch wheel. Comes with a really interesting wheel package. Good looking wheel on that vehicle. I'm quite partial to this one, as well as the SE, the entry-level trim. They both are really nice looking vehicles. The SE does get a smaller wheel and tire package. Both of them look really good. This one's a little more intricate, a little more interesting, but it's quite a bit heavier on the price point, so you get what you pay for, like everything else. So this one clearly is the plug-in hybrid. So this is the Prime. Toyota names all of its vehicles that you plug in at this point in time as a Prime, and that just denotes that it's a plug-in hybrid. So this vehicle, much like most of the Toyotas, gives you the logo on the mirrors that tells you when your blind spot monitors are active. Again, if anyone's passing you, you're passing anyone else in this vehicle. You can't see them, they can't necessarily see you. It lets you know there's somebody in the blind spot as a safety feature. So as we move further back on the vehicle, obviously rear wheel, this one again is a 19. You can downsize these down to a 17 for a wheel and tire package for winter if you choose to. A lot of the clientele does. On this side of the vehicle, this is the actual physical gas door. And unlike the other RAV4s, the opposite side, there's another gas door, but it's not really gas. It's where you would charge the vehicle, because this is the RAV4 Prime. Now that we've seen the side of the vehicle, let's pop around to the rear and have a look here. So because this is Toyota's XSE Tech Package trim, it does come with rear-facing sonar for basically for parking proximity, to let you know how close you are to anything. So you'll see it in the camera, which is down here. This vehicle actually has a second camera in the rear. It's up here near your rear light. And that is basically so that when you put the vehicle in reverse, if the rear seats and the rear cargo space is full of stuff, whatever it is you're carrying, when you put the vehicle in reverse, the camera comes on and your rear view mirror actually shows you what's behind the vehicle, regardless of what is between you and the outside of the vehicle. So that's a nice safety feature for parking, pets, all those good things. So this one, because it is the Tech Pack again, it has the automatic lift hatch. And like most Toyota's RAV4s in the upper trims, you do have the ability to program this so that it only opens so far, that if you're shorter than I am and you need this to open just a little lower just for convenience, so you don't have to step on your toes, you can program this, preset it, and when you open it, it'll automatically come back to the the height that you've preset it to. So interior of the vehicle hasn't quite got the same cargo space as the regular RAV4. Again, if we didn't have one to compare to, you wouldn't know. The floor height in here is a little bit higher, simply because your high voltage battery pack is here in the floor and under the rear seats. That is what makes this vehicle special, is that this has approximately 70 kilometers range on full electric. Again, in optimum conditions, 20 degrees Celsius, no headwind. You haven't got 300 people with you in the car, all those good things. But anyway, the battery pack is in there. All of these vehicles do come with the standard configuration charge cord. that can be plugged into 110 volt cord at your home, in your garage. So charge times in this vehicle range, most people are telling us roughly 12 hours from empty. You can do a full charge, get your roughly 70 kilometer range on that vehicle on a 110 volt charging system. You can go to a level 2 charge point with these, cuts your charge time a little more than in half, but you do have to invest in a little bit of hardware to be installed at home so that it allows you to charge a higher voltage, higher amperage, and cut your times noticeably. So from here you can see with the hatch open, this upper trim does come with the JBL upgraded audio system. Fantastic sound in this vehicle, more speakers, a big subwoofer back here, just a better entertainment system really than the standard features on the vehicle. So on this vehicle too, it also comes with the privacy cover or the tonneau cover to keep your parcels and things secured so you cannot see what's in the vehicle from the outside. Again, very easy flip down here on, as we have on all the Toyota vehicles. Literally just reach up and with one hand you can lay the seats down. You can do a 60-40 configuration, good usable space. Again, lots of room for your golf clubs, hockey bags, all the usual stuff that we all need daily on a daily basis for the utility of a sport utility vehicle. Okay, so we'll close this up and we'll come around to this other side of the vehicle. So this is your second gas door. It's not really a gas door, obviously. This is your charging port for your new vehicle. So automatically comes with a cover. The charge cord that we showed on the interior of the vehicle pops in here. You can plug it into the wall or a charge station. So some interesting facts about this. When your cord is plugged in, you cannot pull the cord out of this vehicle and stop it from charging unless you're in possession of the key fob. It essentially locks in place so that somebody walking by cannot unplug your car. So obviously that is a safety feature that Toyota has built in so that no one can just randomly walk off with your charging cord, because I expect it's an expensive accessory if somebody steals it. So keep that covered. You can't walk away without it. And then that closes up behind. So let's go have a look inside. Okay, so let's have a look inside. For starters, one of the first things I see on this new vehicle is sill plate. RAV4 sill plates come standard on this vehicle. You can add them to a lot of our RAV4s and a lot of our other vehicles. And for most of you frugal Toyota customers, they're a great investment because they keep the sills from rusting and getting all scuffed up, because you're probably going to own this thing for at least 15 years. Speaking from experience. So once we get inside, because this is the XSE Tech Pack, it comes with a whole host of features that a lot of people really like. One of my favorites is the cooled seats. Heated seats I love. Heated steering wheel, I've fallen in love with one now that I've had one for a while. But one of the real nice features of this trim and a lot of our other higher trim vehicles now is they do come with a perforated seat cover as well as the lower portion of the back. And you get the cooled seat. So in the summer with this leather, the cooling is just such a nice feature. Again, layout is very similar to it is with most of any of our Toyotas. We do get the larger touchscreen here. Again, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are standard feature even in the entry-level trim of the RAV4 and the RAV4 Prime. This one has the upgraded, as the Tech Pack, has the larger screen. It does come with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Has lots of charge ports. This one has the IQ wireless charging as well for your smart device. Lay it in there, turn it on, and really quick charging on these now. The newer versions quick charge way faster than the older ones did. Sometimes you weren't even sure if they were working. These ones work great. As far as features go, a lot of what you see in the steering wheel on these new vehicles is all safety feature related. It allows you to control your blind spot monitoring. You can turn those on and off. You can turn off the adaptive cruise control. You can set the distance in the adaptive cruise depending on the density of the traffic you're driving in, so you can open and close the distance in front of you for whatever you're comfortable with. Because this is the RAV4 hybrid, again, you've got lots of different settings here on the transmission. So it also allows you to control for terrain as well as charge conditions. So you can dial up how much charge or recharge you get with this vehicle, whether the vehicle is charging itself by running the gas engine to top up the rear battery, whether you're running in regular hybrid mode, EV mode. There's a lot of tech here. I'm not qualified to really give you a full presentation of this because I don't drive one, and you really need to spend some time in this vehicle to understand what it's capable of. The customers who have them absolutely love them, and they're sending their neighbors and friends back to order more of them. The issue is We'll get you in line as fast as we can, but even the entry-level vehicle, the features of this is outstanding. This tech package gives you the largest roof available in the RAV4 Hybrid, great visibility, great interior lighting, even with the dark interior. I do like this dark interior on the vehicle. It's all matte finish, very classy looking, feels good, soft to the touch. It's been a great addition to the fleet. We wish we could get more of them. Okay, so I guess at this point I've got, again, the seat is set to where I'm relatively comfortable here. This one has lumbar support, so if you have any back issues, you can dial that up to look after your lower back. Turn on the heated seats, turn on the cooled seats, get everything comfortable. And here on the driver's door, it allows you to pre-program both the steering wheel and the seating position for 2 drivers. Again, that's part of the tech package on this vehicle that gives you that upgrade, but it does give you programmable driver's seat and steering wheel position already built in. So that's my quick introduction of the driver's seat and the driving position of this vehicle. So let's jump in the back and see how much room is behind me for your passengers. Okay, so let's transition into the back of the vehicle. And again, on the rear sill plate here, Toyota also has put the scuff protection on here again, so that when you're driving your 20-year-old RAV Prime, it's not rusting down there because you've taken the paint off with your shoes. So I'm going to leave the door open here just so we get a little more lighting so you guys can see better. So giant sunroof over my head, great passenger space here. This seat, I could go to sleep here quite quickly. I'm not allowed to because I'm at work, but I could. Magazine or storage pocket in both seats, passenger and driver side. Again, I'm 5'10". I've left the front seat comfortably for myself. I've got lots of room here. I can recline this seat a little bit further if I want. And in this particular vehicle, because again it's the tech pack, you get 2 great charge ports here, USB-C, lots of voltage there for your smart devices, and you do have climate control for the rear passengers here from the console. Again, armrest here in the center seat, which is quite nice with a cup holder for 2 people. And it also has multiple spots for child seats. After being able to spend some time here, again, we don't spend a lot of time in our vehicles because they're coming in and out so quickly, but I will say the cabin lighting is lovely. The seating position is really nice. As a passenger, I'd be quite happy to go here for hours on end. I've got back issues. This is certainly not going to cause me any problems. So regardless of anything else, this has been a really nice vehicle to sit in. It gives good reviews. The audio system in this vehicle, which I have played with, is fantastic. And it works really well with the Bluetooth. It's flawless with the JBL system, so I really like that. So let's go have a look up front, see what's under the hood of this vehicle, as if we really know, but let's go have a look. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pop the hood of this vehicle because this is actually one of the more interesting Toyotas that we do get to look at as far as drivetrains go. There's not normally much under here for us to look at that I can speak with any authority on. And again, authority is a bit of a rich term. I really don't know much, but I hopefully know more than you. If not, you'll put it in the comments. Doesn't matter. So this is Toyota's hybrid drivetrain. This is the latest version that's available. So there's interesting configuration here. You've got the regular gas engine combined with the drive motor, the electric drive motor with this vehicle. The drive motor in this vehicle is quite a bit larger than it is in a regular hybrid vehicle. Combined horsepower on this vehicle is closer to 300 horsepower. So as far as acceleration goes, for this generation in 2024, the only thing that Toyota offers with similar power and acceleration is a Supra. So this is not what most people expect, that a RAV4 that you're going for groceries or going to the rink in can compete with a true sports car that we do offer as well. So neat configuration, lots of hybrid stuff going on that I don't understand, but I don't need to understand. That's what technicians are for. What I do know is that this vehicle combined rated for fuel economy for the average driver is going to be in the 5.5, 5.7 liters per 100, which is fantastic. And if you keep it plugged in, like someone for myself, if I kept this vehicle plugged in at home with my commute, I could drive all week on a single charge of this vehicle and burn no gas. So for a lot of us who live and work in a really small circle within 70, 75 kilometers, you could drive this vehicle essentially without any gas in it for a long period of time and enjoy the I guess, the freedom of driving an electric vehicle without the nuisance of an electric vehicle, because the minute I don't plug it in, I'm still going to get ridiculously good fuel economy and an awesome car. So great seller for us. I really don't know anything about what's going on under here, except I love it, and that's the main point. So that pretty much sums up my entire knowledge of this vehicle. Look us up at Kentville Toyota. We'd be happy to take your order. Things are a little tight on them right now, but you know what? Tomorrow's a different day. We may have 100 of these to sell in a week's time. Probably not, but it could happen. So I'm Randy from Kentville Toyota. Make sure you subscribe.